So Becca, I heard you got a new job. Do you want to tell me about it?
Yeah, I just started working at Indulge Salon. I just started there this past week, but so far it's been good.
So what led you to doing hair in the first place?
I've wanted to do hair since I was little, like in kindergarten. I would always tell my mom that I wanted to be a hairstylist, and her and my dad were kind of like, no, you need to go to college. Like, you can't go to school like that, or just do that. Like, you have to get a degree first. And I was like, no. I never wanted to go to college. Like, schoolwork wasn't really for me, and so I finally had them convinced, and so I ended up just going to cosmetology school.
Where'd you go to cosmetology school at?
I went to Clary Sage in Tulsa.
How was that?
It was good. I was really scared at first. I had to take like this business class before I got to actually start doing like the cosmetology part of it. But after that, I got really into it, and I ended up being like one of the top people in my class, and so it was actually pretty fun. I made a lot of good friends.
So for not liking schoolwork, you did good there at least.
I know. I guess it was something I was passionate about, so I did a lot better in school.
Was it more hands-on rather than books?
The first, it's like split up into three phases. Like the first phase is like all book work, and like you learn diseases and disorders of the hair, skin, and nails, and like all that kind of stuff. And like the second phase is kind of practicing skills in class, like on mannequins and on each other and stuff. And then whenever you get to the third phase, you're like actually taking clients and kind of experiencing like the in salon life.
Was it like an actual salon or just people that came in for trial kind of stuff?
It's set up like a salon. Obviously, they don't charge as much
Oh.
because we're students, like we're practicing on people.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's still set up like they come in, they check in, we do their service, they pay, they leave. It's
Oh.
basically like a salon, but not.
So where did you go to work after you graduated then?
Well, while I was in school, I worked at a salon that was in Broken Arrow, which was where I lived whenever I went to school there. And it was at Berkshire Salon and Day Spa. And then I moved back home to Ponca, and I worked in Stillwater. So I was working in Stillwater and in Tulsa, and I lived in Ponca. And every once in a while, I would work in Ponca. So I had 3 jobs in 3 different towns. So it's pretty crazy. But for right now, I'm just working in Stillwater, but still living in Ponca.
Oh, I see. Do you plan on moving to Stillwater to be closer to your job soon?
Yeah, I actually plan on moving down in the next couple of months. I already have a house kind of figured out, and so I'll be moving down, and that'll be a lot easier because it's pretty close to my job. So.
So you just started your new job like a week or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
How's that all going so far?
So far, so good. I'm making a lot more money because at the salon I worked at before I moved to this one, it was also in Stillwater, but it was a commission salon. And whenever you do that, it's great for starting out, like right whenever you get out of school, but like they take a percentage of what you make every week. Granted, you're not paying that booth rent like what I pay now, but instead of paying booth rent, she's just taking 50% of my paycheck. So one week I would have made almost $1,000, but after taxes and her taking 50%, I made a whole lot less than that. So right now I just pay my booth rent every week, and then I get to keep what's left over after that. So now that I've built up a little bit of a clientele, like I make more money.
That makes sense. How long did you work at your first job?
Berkshire, I worked there for almost a full year. I actually ended up going back and filling in whenever they needed me, so that kind of put me at a year area. And then at Hello Gorgeous, which was the first salon in Stillwater, I worked there from August all the way up until March. And then after that, now I just work at Indulge.
Huh. Where you said you worked in Ponca for a little while too. Where did you work there?
I worked for my friend's mom. Me and my friend have known each other for almost 10 years, and her mom owns a salon, and she kind of gave me a little area, like a booth to rent from her whenever I needed it. So it just kind of, I don't necessarily actually like work there, but if I need to do someone's hair in Ponca or they can't make it to Stillwater, like I can go there and use that space. And she's been really cool about it. She's let me kind of only pay like whenever I need to, or use it whenever I need to, not necessarily have to have a set schedule every week.
Well, that's really convenient that you have a place at home while you're living there and here. Well, working here, living there, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely nice.
Well, do you have any big plans for your future career in hairstyling?
Eventually one day I hope to own my own salon, but right now as a struggling for money 20-year-old, I probably won't do that anytime soon. The whole house rent payment thing is kind of stressing me out thinking about it, but I'm sure once I get in the swing of things, the owning my own salon will happen sooner than I think.
Well, at least you've got it worked out for right now, and you're getting yourself all settled in. Well, thank you for sharing with me your hairstyling experiences.